I appreciate you so much.
Sergeant at Arms, please call our November 4th, 2025 council meeting to order. I would like to recognize our chaplain of the day, Pastor Bryant McNatt from First Assembly of God, invited by Councilman Carlisle. Pastor, would you please lead us in prayer?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day and the blessings that come with it. Thank you for Memphis and the people who call Memphis their home. I pray peace over those who risk their life every day to keep this city safe. Thank you for your grace and mercy that we receive daily. I pray for the council meeting today, that all challenges and conversations would be communicated swiftly and handled swiftly. I pray for all of our council members who devote their lives to the service of our community. Let their decisions be just and full of wisdom. Holy Spirit, I pray that the fruit that is a reflection of you would be a reflection of our own, that we would see love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control today. Bless our time and bless the city of Memphis. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
The whole ceremony. Pastor Brian, thank you so much for coming here today and blessing the city and the Memphis City Council. I'd say the prayers are needed now more than ever, and so we're very appreciative for your words. We just have a few tokens of appreciation for you, and I would typically read this, but we have an appointment today, and we got to get this young man on and appointed as chief of the fire department and out of here. So I just want to say how much we thank you and your engagement and shepherding your flocks. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Pastor, for being with us today and praying with us and over us. Madam Comptroller, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Carlisle. Here. Cooper Sutton. Present. Easter Thomas. Present. Ford. Present. Green. Logan. Present. Smiley. Spinoza. Here. Swearingen Washington. Present. Walker. Present. Warren. Present. White. Chairman Canale. Here. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. I believe Vice Chair Swearingen Washington has read the meeting minutes from our October 21, 2025 meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. I have reviewed the minutes and find them to be in order with the amendment removing items 25, 26, and 27 from the record. And I move for the adoption of the October 21st, 2025 meeting minutes as amended, and I so move.
Minutes removed by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, we are voting for the amended meeting minutes from October 21.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Welcome, everyone, to the November 4, 2025 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has the full opportunity to be heard, and the deliberate process of the council is retained at all times. The Sergeant at Arms has meeting agendas available up front, as well as comment request cards for members of the public wishing to be heard on a specific item. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment card to the Sergeant at Arms before the item is called. If you are not here to speak on a specific item, you can note your request to give general comment at the end of the meeting. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly registered to speak by submitting a completed comment request card to the Sergeant at Arms. Members of the audience and persons addressing the council will not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory, personal, slanderous, or profane comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. Chairperson of the council may maintain order by giving any persons who are in violation of the stated rules of decorum a warning to cease any violative conduct, in order to leave the council's chambers, or by giving an order for security personnel to remove any disruptive person in the council's chambers who refuses to leave voluntarily. These rules are posted on the doors as you enter the chamber and as you pick up comment cards. An example of an 11 by 17 poster is also posted on the door. Signs larger than the permitted size are prohibited and will be removed from the chamber. Housekeeping items, items 5, 6, 8, 9, and 29 are held until November 18, 2025. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item number 40 from our add-ons?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 40 is an appointment, Director of General Services, Melvin Jamerson, and there's a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommends unanimous approval, and I so move for same-night minutes.
Item was moved by Easter Thomas, seconded by Green. Mayor Young, would you like to speak?
As I stated earlier, I'm really excited to bring this appointment forth. As you all know, Melvin has served very capably in the role. He's been dedicated to this city for 25 years, 1 year at HCD, 24 years at General Services, and I am very, very confident that he is the right person at the right time to continue leading that in that space. So graciously ask for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Colleagues, any comments? If not, would you please take us to the voting screen, Madam Comptroller?
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Director Jamerson, we are extremely proud of you and happy for you, and we look forward to our continued work together. Please, if you'd like to say a few words.
Sir. So thank you, council members, for your confidence and continued partnership. I accept this appointment with gratitude and determination to keep strengthening our operations, empowering our workforce, and modernizing the services that keep Memphis moving. I'm proud to be a part of a team dedicated to efficiency, innovation, and serving our residents with excellency. And I want to just thank my family for being here with me today, my lovely wife of 33 years. I love you. My baby sister, Marilyn. My big sister and brother-in-law. So we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 41?
Item number 41 is an appointment, Director of Fire Services, Colin Burris.
Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended by unanimous approval, and I so move for same-night minutes.
Item was moved by Easter Thomas, seconded by Smiley. Mr. Mayor?
As you all know, Colin Burris has served very capably with the fire department since 1998. He has been an amazing leader within the fire department, and as you know, our fire department is top of the line, one of the best in the United States. They run into situations that many of us run away from, and we are pleased to have him be pushed for this role because I think it's something that he's earned. And from the conversation that I had with him from the moment that we talked about this earlier this week or last week, I knew in my spirit, just in the dialogue, that it was the right person. And his humble spirit and his willingness to serve is something that I think is notable, and I think it's something that's going to serve him well in this capacity. And just, again, graciously ask for your support.
Thank you, Mayor Young. Colleagues, any comments? If not, we'll go to the voting screen. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Chief Perez, before you get started, and first, congratulations. I can't tell you how proud we are and happy for you. We've really enjoyed working with you in your deputy chief role, but now as you lead this department to new heights, we couldn't be more proud or confident in the man at the top leading this department. But before you get started, I want to acknowledge your amazing father. And if you, Mr. Perez, would you please stand? Thank you for being here with us. You raised a good one, and we know you're proud. Chief, the floor is yours.
All I can say is wow, and thank you for that. First, I'd like to give all the honor to God for putting me in this moment. I've worked my entire career for this moment, and it's all that. I'd like to thank Mayor Young for his confidence in me to place me in charge of such a wonderful department. With all the men and women that we have, we've got so many people that could be in this position right now. But it's me, and I'm telling you, I truly appreciate it. And I vow to them to always watch over and make sure I'm doing the right thing and trying to help them attain and get to where they want to go to. A lot of the people that are sitting back here are people that have either guided me, mentored me, scolded me, but the one thing that I appreciate the most, they believed in me, and I believe in them. So it's been an honor to work alongside you, and that's active and retired, not just active. But I tell you, just the love and appreciation that they show, I got to turn around and take one more look. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the North Memphis community that raised me. A lot of the values and the core, the foundation of where I'm from, that was it. Chelsea and I, right there. It's where it all went down. But the biggest thing that I have going on for me in my life is my family. And first, your family, when you're deployed to a disaster or you're somewhere seeking some kind of education just so you can move yourself forward, or you're out in the streets trying to help somebody here in Memphis. There were people for me standing in the gap. And the people that did that, some of them, I've got some online family that couldn't make it. I love them too, but right behind me, I'd like to give them a quick shout out. You got my wife right there. Thank you so much. My brother, Stephen. my daughter Aubrey, son Kylan. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen asleep yet, but he's right there. My other daughter, Taylor. My mother-in-law, Jewel. And again, my dad. And you know, the only thing, and you know, it's funny just all the things that your parents tell you when you're growing up. But there's one thing I wanted to do is make that man proud. And I think I've done that today. So thank you.
Madam Comptroller, would you please call item number 1?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 1 is a resolution honoring Captain James Carlos Clark. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. It was held from October 7th.
Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
Thank you. This resolution is going to be very difficult for me to read because this was my brother who we're doing it in his demise, and his wife, and his grandchildren, and mom, his daughter, and his stepfather. They're all here. We lost them a couple months ago. And so the Memphis City Council resolution, whereas Captain James Carlos Clark was born on August 8th, 1975, in Oktibbeha County, Mississippi, to the late James Clark and Aretha Jordan. And from an early age, he accepted Christ and his personal Savior, becoming a devoted member of Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, where he remained active throughout his life. And whereas Captain James Carlos Clark graduated from Starksville High School in 1994, pursued further education at Hines Community College, Davis Marine Training Institution, and the Seaman Church Institute Center of Marti, where he built a respected career on the river as a proud captain for the Marquette Transportation, serving with excellence for 19 years and commanding the M.V. Lindsay and Ickerson with steadfastness, leadership, and integrity. And whereas Captain James Carlos Clark was known not only for his professionalism, but also for his role as a mentor and a guide, training young deckhandmen into skilled pilots, volunteering with youth organizations like the Boys Club, and modeling the value of discipline, loyalty, and service. Whereas beyond his career, Captain James Carlos Clark was a devoted husband and a loving father, and a proud grandfather whose greatest joy was his family. He led with compassion and strength, providing unwavering support to his wife, my niece, his daughter, the grandchildren, mom, sisters, cousins, and extended family. He was a man of moral character and deep integrity who showed up not just when it was easy, but when it mattered the most. And whereas he was affectionately known as the life of the party, with a radiant smile, an affectionate laugh, and a giving spirit. Whether grilling at the family gatherings, riding the ATVs throughout the countryside, cheering for his favorite team, or sharing stories around the fire, Captain James Carlos Clark brought warmth and unity wherever he went. And whereas his love for horses became both a passion and a ministry. As a proud member of the National Racing Horse Association, Captain James Carlos Clark used horseback riding as a trail event to build community, uplift youth, and inspire pride in culture and tradition. He created a space for boys to see strong Black leadership in rural settings and led by example with every ride. And whereas Captain James Carlos Clark, life was grounded in faith, fueled by love, and marked by service. His influence extended beyond the riverbanks into the hearts and lives of all who knew him. His legacy is etched in the wisdom he shared, the examples he set, and the lives he uplifted. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council does hereby honor the extraordinary life, legacy, and service of Captain James Carlos Clark, recognizing his distinguished service in the maritime industry, meaning he was always on the sea, and that's what that means. He was on the sea. His unwavering commitment to family and community, and his enduring impact as a leader, mentor, friend. And be it further resolved that on this day, the Memphis City Council extends his deepest condolences and honor to my brother, husband, father, uncle, cousin, friend, Captain James Carlos Clark's journey and celebrated a life well lived. May he find eternal peace, and may his memory continue to guide and inspire generations to come. Given by the hand and under the great seal of the city of Memphis, this 21st day, well, not the 21st day, but this is the 21st day of October 25th, his worship sister, who he would always say, Lord, here she go with that praying again, Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper Sutton, Memphis City Council.
Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 2?
Item number 2 is a resolution honoring the Renaissance Convention Center for its remarkable contributions to Memphis's economic growth and continued role in shaping a thriving downtown. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Swearingen Washington.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you. Joining me is the best convention team in the United States. The Renaissance Convention team right here in Memphis, Tennessee, under the leadership of Mr. Dean Dennis. And we have some special shout out. The entire team is remarkable, but we have some special shout outs for Deirdre McRae. She has 40 years of service. Where's Deirdre? She's coming around the corner. Oh, okay. Take your time. Take your time. We have Patrick Brown, and he has 40 years of service. Y'all clap for that. That's a long time to be working. Congratulations, Ms. Deirdre. Chuck Jabor, 20 years of service. Camille Wellington, who can sail air, 20 years of service. And we are just thankful for the entire Renaissance team. And this resolution says, whereas the Renaissance Convention Center stands as a testament to the spirit and progress and innovation that defines Memphis, a beacon on the riverfront, symbolizing not only where we've been, but where we're going as a city. Whereas since its grand opening 4 years ago, the Renaissance Convention Center has proven to be one of the city's most significant drivers of economic growth and cultural vitality, hosting nearly 1,800 events that have welcomed over 1 million attendees from across the nation. Whereas these events and partnerships, the Renaissance Convention Center has generated an impressive 320,383 hotel room nights, infused an estimate of $226 million into Memphis economy, and contributed over $40 million in sales tax revenue, reflecting as its role as a cornerstone of local prosperity. Their continued success has made it possible of the unwavering dedication to the leadership team, the board members, the employees, whose collective vision and hard work have transformed into one of the premier convention venues in the nation, setting a standard of excellence of hospitality that reflects the best of Memphis. Beyond its economic contributions, the Renaissance Convention Center continues to shape thriving downtown by providing a world-class venue for conferences, cultural celebrations, and civic engagement. They and their people have across all of the industries, communities, and cultures under one roof. Whereas through its partnership with local businesses, hospitality workers, artists, and entrepreneurs, the Renaissance Convention Center not only drives commerce, but strengthens the very fabric of our city, enduring the opportunity and growth that's extended as the cornerstone of Memphis. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Vice Chairwoman, Janice Swearingen Washington, and the entire council proudly recognizes the Renaissance Convention Center, its leadership, board of directors, the staff, for their extraordinary service for the people, for Memphis, and their exceptional record of economic development and their steadfast commitment to elegance and also building a more vibrant, inclusive, prosperous city for all, prosperous city for all. I'm so excited, I was a little nervous. Given by my hand on this great deal under the city of Memphis, Janice Swearingen Washington, I'm just so proud of you, and I just want to commend your standard of excellence.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So kind of you.
So proud of you.
Well, it is just with great gratitude to the City Council, Vice Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, and all the council, and the city as well, the city staff. I see former CEO Chief McGowan here. I see Chief Adams here that have both been instrumental from the city's perspective of getting the money to do the renovations, and they turned out as expected. They generated so much new business for our facility and for the city of Memphis. I want to just say a couple of things because our team is only about 45 to 48 employees full-time, but we have great partners, and I want to introduce them real quickly. First of all, I want to mention our naming rights partner, Renaissance Bank. They're not here, but they're watching, and I just wanted you to know that they were a really important part of what we do. Prestige Audiovisual, Les Denny is represented here by Prestige. Arcade Bluff City is our catering company. Kate Maria. Pritchard Sports is our housekeeping company. Premium Parking, Carmen and Melissa are somewhere. I saw them here. They're here, and of course Andy Frayne is our security company. It's with sincere appreciation I accept this or thank you for this award. And we've won a lot of awards, and it's due in part to the heroic work of this city to do the renovations there. And I know the next step is the hotel that closes tomorrow. And I appreciate that as well. And I want you to know how important it is that is going forward. And we thank you very much for that. Lastly, I want to mention my boss, and that's Memphis Tourism's Kevin Kane, and some of the folks from Memphis Tourism that are here as well. Lets me and our team do what we need to do to bring groups and to service them correctly. Thank you very much, Vice Chairwoman. I really appreciate this honor. Thank you.
It's my privilege. Let's get together and take a picture.
Okay.
Move her to this side.
Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 32?
Item number 32 is selection of the 2026 council chair.
All right, I'm going to open up nominations for the 2026 chairman of the Memphis City Council. Councilman Smiley, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. It's with great honor and great pleasure of mine to nominate who we affectionately call JSW, Jana Swearinger-Washington, to be the chairwoman of the Memphis City Council. I've come to know her to be someone who's caring, someone who is consistent, someone who shows up for a district. And I can't think of any better person to lead this body in this time. I know she's going to do a phenomenal job. And if she doesn't, she's going to have a very strong support group to push her along the way with love, and her sister, Jamita Swearinger-Washington. But all that to say this, I'm looking forward to serving on this body with you leading it. I can't wait to see the phenomenal things you do and how you get us in line. So with that, can't wait for you to serve. I'm pretty sure this is going to be by acclamation. So I would love to close nominations. Also move to close nominations.
Thank you, Councilman Smiley. Colleagues, any other nominations? All right, without objection, we're going to close the nominations. By acclamation, our next chair of the Memphis City Council will be Janice Swearinger-Washington. Do I need to gavel that down? All right. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 33?
Item number 33 is selection of the 2026 Council Vice Chair.
All right, I'm going to open nominations for the 2026 Council Vice Chair. Councilman Smiley, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. I kind of mixed emotions about this one. When I was elected to this body in 2019, we came in together in 2020, and I believe the first 3 months we were adversaries. But what we quickly realized is we were the only two people talking. And we also realized that by working together, we can get more accomplished. Thought he was an adversary, quickly learned he ended up being my brother. So with that said, I am nominating Councilman Chase Carlisle to be the Vice Chairman of the Memphis City Council. It doesn't appear there's going to be any more debate about this one. So with that, I will move to close nominations.
Any other nominations, colleagues? All right, without objection, we're going to close nominations, and by acclamation, Chase Carlisle will be the Vice Chair for 2026. All right, Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to our MLGW fiscal consent items 10 through 28?
Item number 20, starting off wrong. Item number 10 is a resolution awarding 60-month purchase orders for medium voltage circuit breakers to ABB Inc., Mitsubishi Electric Power Products Inc., Siemens Industry Inc., and Siemens Energy Inc. in an amount not to exceed $16,500,000. Item number 11 is a resolution awarding 60-month purchase orders for high voltage power circuit breakers to Mitsubishi Electric Power Products Inc. and Siemens Energy Inc. in an amount not to exceed $16,500,000. Item number 12 is a resolution awarding purchase order for Dell computers, workstations, and monitors to Electronic Responsible Recyclers, LLC, in the amount of $311,673.75. Item number 13 is a resolution approving of scope change and increase to contract number 11913, Distribution Engineering Analysis Software with CYME International, T&D, to expand the scope and increase the current contract value in the funded amount of $59,487.33. Item number 14 is a resolution awarding purchase order for substation network modules and software licenses to GE Grid Solutions, LLC, in the amount of $241,336.70. Item number 15 is a resolution approving increase to contract number 12540, Master Paving Program, Section 2 with Vucon, LLC, to increase the current contract in the funded amount of $1,759,240. Item number 16 is a resolution approving renewal to contract number 11996, Operator Qualification Training with Veriforce, LLC, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $35,899. Item number 17 is a resolution ratifying the emergency award and approval of extension scope change and increase of the funded amount for the authorization of payment to contract number 12539, Capleville LNG Regan Heater Piping and Mid-South Boring and Piping, LLC, to authorize payment, expand the scope, increase and extend the contract in the funded not to exceed amount of $279,870. Item number 18 is a resolution approving scope change and increase to contract number 12500, 2-18 8XP replacement to Equix Energy Services, LLC, to expand the scope and increase the current contract in the not-to-exceed funded amount of $5,929,830.94. There is a request for same night minutes for this item number 18. Item number 19 is a resolution approving ratification and renewal to contract number 10614, Bloomberg Data License and Maintenance Agreement with Bloomberg LP to ratify and renew the current contract in the funded not to exceed amount of $82,440. Item number 20 is a resolution approving ratification and renewal to contract number 10793, Professional Portfolio Software with Advent Software Incorporated, to ratify and renew the current contract in the funded amount of $14,902.84. Item number 21 is a resolution approving ratification and renewal to contract number 12531, Red Hat Enterprise Service License and Support Subscription with Technologics, Inc., to ratify and renew the current contract in the funded amount of $106,932.20. Item number 22 is a resolution approving increase to contract number 12069, ARC FM viewer replacement with SSP Innovations, LLC, to increase the current contract and the funded amount of $64,116.72. Item number 23, resolution approving expansion and renewal to contract number 11296, Enterprise GIS Software Selection and Installation with Environmental System Research Institute to expand the scope and renew the current contract in the funded amount of $1,597,949. Item number 24 is a resolution awarding purchase order for luminaire floodlights LED 400 watt equivalent to Brighter Days and Nights Inc. in the amount of $232,200. Item number 25 is a resolution awarding 24-month purchase orders for crushed limestone CR-610 to Fulton Dock and Warehouse and Vulcan Materials Company in the amount of $3,651,250. Item number 26 is a resolution awarding purchase order for reclosers to G&W Electric Company in the amount of $7,844,901. Item number 27 is a resolution awarding contract number 12643, Johnson's Controls Fire Protection Services to Johnson Control Fire Protection LP in the funded amount of $400,000. And our final item, number 28, is a resolution approving renewal to contract number 12553, Well Lots Turf Management with Turf Doctors L&M LLC to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $186,332.29. Mr. Chairman, that concludes our MLGW fiscal consent items.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee met. We discussed these items, and there were no issues with them, so I so move.
MLGW is moved by Spinoza, seconded by Green. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Please show Council Member Logan is voting yes on this item, and Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes.
Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. You're recognized.
Thank you so much. I wanted to make this announcement. President McGowan and his team this morning, we were not able to really fully discuss it, but Tim was there, Ursuline was there, but we wanted to put on record, there was a request that was made that I talked to Tim over the weekend, and we wanted the people to know that all the legal aspect of everything has gone through. And during these critical times that we're in, the constituents here, I'm just so excited because I tried to do this last year in March of 24 about the late fees. There will no customers be accumulating any late fees during this critical time. And so because that sometimes becomes a big setback and a big barrier. And so I wanted to put it on record and to thank President McGowan and his team for their hard work and their effort, that no late fees will be accumulated on their MLG and W bills during this time of the government shutdown. So thank you, President McGowan and your team.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us back to item 3 off the regular agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 3 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 2554 North Watkins Street. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is SUP 24-37.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met and recommended rejection on this item. It was also rejected by DPD. So I just wanted to share that, and I'm so moved.
Thank you. Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Cooper Sutton. Colleagues, would anybody like to hear from DPD or the applicant? Okay. I'd like to hear from DPD real quick.
A brief presentation presented by Alexis Longstreet with DPD 125 North Main Street. This is a request for a used car lot at 2554 North Watkins Street. This property is located in District 7, Super District 8. About 32 notices were mailed out October 22nd of 2024. There were no letters of opposition or support received or calls of inquiry noted. This property is zoned commercial mixed use 3 with a commercial land use designation. Here are a few site maps, here are site photos of the subject property. This is the site plan that was proposed by the applicant, and this is a site plan based on the revisions requested by the Division of Planning and Development. The applicant did comply with the added condition, which was that the northmost curb cut shown here shall be closed and replaced with curb, gutter, sidewalk, and a minimum of 8-foot wide streetscaping plate, which is basically a landscaping plate along North Watkins. This proposal was deemed consistent by Memphis 3.0, and as mentioned earlier, it did receive a recommended rejection as well as committee. And this concludes the brief presentation provided by staff.
Wait, get back to that last screen. You said it is compatible with 3.0, but DPD recommended rejection.
Yes.
Okay.
Our recommendations of rejection were based upon the site itself. So if you look here in the site photos, this is the subject property we are referencing here. And the used car sales, the applicant is meeting just the required minimum for used car sales of the 15 spaces. And if you all point your attention to the revised site plan, as you see here, this was the initial proposal. And these are all the parking spaces in which would be provided for this more or less 22,000 square foot building. And in the request of DPD, by adding and enclosing the northwest curb cut, they did have to relocate parking spaces here. And in terms of the lot itself, the compatibility, I would say, and the compact of the parking lot itself for used car sales, we didn't see fit.
All right, what's there now?
The property is currently vacant.
How long has it been vacant?
We do have the representative here. I'm not sure if he would be able to answer those
I'm
specific
going to go to the
questions.
queue. Thank you for your presentation. Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. In committee, we had a short but robust conversation on why we denied it as a committee. One is at the entry point of the Fraser community, and as we know, car sales do not add or help any community that's looking to increase and thrive, and so also it's not aligning with what we want the future of Fraser to be, especially, again, at the entry point of this neighborhood. And so the time of vacancy, I think, belongs to the land, the property owner. And I don't think they're here. I think their representative is here. But hopefully, that can encourage the property owner for a more productive and conducive use of it. But Fraser doesn't need any more used car sales lots, nor does the entire District 7.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Madam Vice Chair, you had? No.
She said exactly what I was going to say.
Okay. Colleagues, anybody else have any questions, comments? All right. Will you please take us to the voting screen for item 3?
Carlisle, no. Cooper Sutton, no. Easter Thomas, no. Ford, no. Green, no. Logan, no. Spinoza, no. Swearingen, Washington, no. Walker, no. Chairman Canale, no.
That item fails. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to item 4?
Item number 4 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 1081 McClure Road. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is SUP 25-14.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met and recommended approval. They were also excited about this daycare that's going to be in the Whitehaven community that will also offer services to the students, and I so move.
Item 4 was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Carlisle. I do have one comment card. Miss Alexis Agnew. Name and address. You have 2 minutes. Good evening.
Good evening, Chair, and everyone here. I appreciate you guys being here. Alexis Agnew, 4321 Elaine. I want to support this child care center being here. In particular, because I missed the third one, so I wanted to get it on this one. That I also support you guys rejecting the used car sales place. We don't need more used car sale places. Don't need more gas stations, per the committee conversation earlier. Loved that. You guys were awesome. We don't need more vape shops. Cooper Sutton was right on the money with that. We need more childcare centers. We need more parks, green spaces, basketball courts, and soccer fields. So if there were any way for me to put in that this childcare center might include that, then I just think that's awesome, and I support this kind of zoning and this kind of, if we're gonna have to destroy it, might as well make it better. So I like that. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Agnew. Thank you. Colleagues, any questions, comments? Please take us to the voting screen for item 4.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to consent, which would be items 7 and 36 and 37 and 42 and 43 and 44.
Mr. Chairman?
Starting with 7.
Thank you. On our consent agenda, item number 7 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for Tractor Supply Company Stage Road, right-of-way 25-25-00075, and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is CR-5486. On our add-ons, we have item number 36, a joint ordinance of the City of Memphis and County of Shelby County, Tennessee, enacted pursuant to the Community Redevelopment Act of 1988 and the Uniformity in Tax Increment Financing Act of 2012, providing for the amendment of the Cleveland Street Corridor Redevelopment Trust Fund. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5960 is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas, and there is a request to add this on to the agenda for first reading. Item number 37 is an ordinance to amend ordinance number 5595, Title 5, Chapter 40 of Memphis Municipal Code to renew the Memphis Tourism Improvement District. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5961 is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request to add this on to the consent agenda for first reading. Item number 42 is a joint ordinance amending the 2021 Memphis and Shelby County Building Code so as to amend storm shelter requirements for educational buildings and add a new appendix related to optional middle-scale housing construction requirements. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5962 is sponsored by the administration, and there was a request to add this on to the consent agenda for first reading. Item number 43 is a joint ordinance amending the 2021 Memphis and Shelby County existing building code so as to amend storm shelter requirements for educational buildings and optional middle-scale housing construction requirements. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5963 is sponsored by the administration. There is a request to add this on to the consent agenda for first reading. And item number 44 is an ordinance amending the 2021 edition of the International Code Council International Fire Code, including certain appendices in that code and other local amendments, and amending Chapter 9.36 of the City of Memphis Code of Ordinances. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5964 is sponsored by the administration. There was a request to add this on to the consent agenda for first reading. Mr. Chairman, I think I called all our consent agenda items.
You sure did. Very good. Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
Consent was moved. Councilwoman Easter Thomas.
Just a point of clarification, Chair. Did we call 35, 36, and 36?
I did, not 35.
Okay, gotcha.
So just for housekeeping purposes, consent was items 7, 36, 37, 42, 43, and 44. So, colleagues, that is what we will be voting on. It was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Seeing no other members in the queue, please appear the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to item 30?
Item number 30 is a resolution to appropriate $2 million in FY26 CIP project number LI01036 for library deferred maintenance improvement. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman Walker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee met with a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
30 was moved by Walker, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 31.
Item number 31 is a resolution to transfer and appropriate construction funds in the amount of $966,680 from Drainage ST Cover Line, project number ST03205, to Central Station Piping, project number ST03243, for the slip lining of pipes near Central Station Railroad Station to reinforce the existing failing infrastructure. District 6, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Councilman Dr. Warren, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee met, recommend approval, and I so move.
31 was moved by Warren, seconded by Carlisle. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Because Smiles is not here, I'm co-chair.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 34.
Item number 34 is a resolution to appropriate $176,545.46 in FY 2026 CIP funding for the Downtown Command Center, project number IT01008, District 6 and 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
34 was moved by Green, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please take us to the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 35.
Item number 35 is a resolution finding of conditions necessary for community redevelopment in the Cleveland Street corridor area and amending the community redevelopment plan for this Cleveland Street corridor area. District 5, 6, and 7, Super Districts 8 and 9. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
35 was moved by Green, seconded by Swearingen Washington. I have one comment card. Ms. Pamela Moses. Ms. Moses, name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Pamela Moses, 2383 Jackson, 38108. I'm here because I have sent all of you emails in regards to things going on in my neighborhood, and no one but I believe maybe Councilman Ford and Councilman Sutton have responded. My own councilman, you can roll your eyes all you want, I can roll mine back, okay? We're gonna be adults. Yeah, we're gonna be adults. You have a responsibility to represent our community.
Ms. Moses.
No,
No, you can address me. You're not going to talk to other council members, okay? You're not going to do that.
You're interrupting me.
Yeah, I did. Because you're not following our rules of procedure. You can either change what you're going to say.
Oh, you're going to
and tell us
control how
something,
I speak now?
Or I will take. What's that?
I said, are you controlling how I speak? My First Amendment right.
You're not going to disparage council members. If you have something to say about item 35, then please say it.
Okay, I'm about to.
Okay.
I just don't like when people roll their eyes at me. That's juvenile. So like I said, we have money missing from our community, and this resolution is asking for something for District 7, that $3 million that John Paul Schaefer and the rest of them took. We need it back because we don't have a grocery store. We don't have anything, but yet y'all can set up smoke shops and all this other stuff. You got the National Guard here for all this alleged crime, but the biggest crime in Memphis is poverty. And we need some assistance. We need our elected representatives to do their job. And all I'm asking is for you to do your job. If you don't want to do your job, it's real serious. It's simple. All you can do is resign. You can quit, or you can be ousted like those school board members that didn't want to do their job. You have a resolution, but yet there's some misappropriations, Chairman Canali. And I understand that you don't understand what's going on in North Memphis because you don't live there, but I see you in East Memphis. We don't have an ice cream shop. We don't have anything because of this misappropriation of funds and this continual uplifting gatekeepers and folks that know how to get in line. Well, I don't know how to get in line. All I know how to do is represent for my people who are starving, literally. So I need for everybody that has got my emails in regards to the spying on me, I need you to do your job. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moses. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to the voting screen for item 35?
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. White, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 38.
Item number 38 is a resolution to establish and fund the Memphis Emergency Meal Provision and Housing Interim Services Forgivable Loan Fund, Memphis Fund, and to provide immediate local relief in response to the 2025 federal government shutdown. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the Memphis City Council, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met, recommended approval as amended, and I so move.
All right, 38 was moved by Carlisle, seconded by Green. I do have one comment card. Ms. Glenda Hicks. Ms. Hicks, your name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Glenda Hicks, 608 Gillies, co-founder 21st Century Memphis or Bust. I was listening in to the committee meetings and also noted that Councilwoman Cooper Sutton shared that late fees will be halted across the board. Did I get that right? Late fees, as far as MLGW is concerned, will be halted across the board during the times of the shutdown.
The government shutdown.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Talked with
one other-
President McGowan and his team, and so they're working out. I think the legal aspect of it had to be worked out.
Okay.
And so, yes, ma'am, that was what
If
was
there is a legal
shared.
aspect, okay. But my additional concern is regarding, of course, our elderly. We don't know how long we will be in this situation, and I'm concerned about the increase that is to come as of January 1, the 4% increase. So I would like to suggest that we put a pause on that increase until we know exactly where we stand. We don't know what winter is going to be like, and for these individuals to have to deal with an additional 4%, not knowing what TVA might do as far as the fuel cost adjustment is concerned, because we know that can fluctuate every month, and they may decide that their cost is more extensive than usual, and that's an additional percentage that will impact the utility bills. So I wanted to put that on your hearts, your minds at this point, that we put a pause on that 4% rate increase that's scheduled to hit January 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Hicks, I think the board meets in the morning, do MLG&W, so I would just suggest that you be present there as well, and I'm going to try to make it, and maybe we can discuss that with them at that time. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen for 38.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Venosa, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colleagues, thank you for coming together in support and of recent comments, doing your jobs by putting money in the community so steadfastly and quickly to these organizations. And I appreciate all of you and your support. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Comptroller, Councilwoman Green. Snuck in there late. Oh.
Sorry. I was just actually hoping if, for the public that may have not heard in committee, if you could explain a little bit about what this fund is and what organizations we included in it.
Mr. Chairman, now on the floor. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I was just pulling my book bag. I'm 40 and have a book bag. Thank you, Councilwoman Green. This is a resolution, well, it was already read. So this fund that was created and sponsored by the Memphis City Council is a fund that is a bridge for the federal shutdown and is starting as a standing fund, meaning it will exist before and after this acute event. And has been funded with the Save This Body with $2.5 million that will be provided in a 0% interest loan over a term of 5 years and non-amortizing. No organization receiving these funds will be required to pay back any funding in the first year. And and I'm just going to read it so I don't screw it up. This is a loan forgiveness. This is a forgivable loan to 501c3. So loans may only be deemed forgivable upon the joint written recommendation of the chief financial officer and the chief legal officer of the city of Memphis based on a finding that repayment would not cause undue hardship or forgiveness. Would cause, we have a Scribner's error, Brooke. Undue hardship, or that forgiveness serves a substantial public purpose consistent with resolution and with majority consent of the Memphis City Council.
This fund is critical. And I say this not as a lecture, just to add to context of the body's decision with the federal government shutdown going on, and I think we're at the second longest shutdown in history. The impact to this is now, but what the body recognized today is that individuals and organizations will be impacted. So meaning it far after this, meaning if the government were to turn it on tomorrow, it doesn't mean that it gets better tomorrow. And I think that that's the thing that this fund will help alleviate, is it will allow these organizations to have some stability and smoothing over a period of time in order to get their financials and their individuals set up. I probably went a little farther. I'll add one more thing to the script here for the public, which is service providers and compliance and reporting. And I'll try and summarize them very quickly. The City of Memphis is authorized to negotiate and execute emergency loan agreements with the approved organizations listed herein. Those organizations are Metropolitan Interfaith Association, known as MIFA, the Hospitality Hub, the Mid-South Food Bank, and Feed the Needy. The Division of Finance is requested to establish procedures to ensure prompt disbursement of funds under emergency conditions, streamline administration and reporting requirements, and fiscal accountability oversight consistent with the City of Memphis financial policies. Compliance and reporting, this will be the last thing, I promise. All participating organizations shall comply with the following standards. Submit written monthly reports to the Memphis City Council Attorney, Chief Financial Officer, and Chief Legal Officer of the City of Memphis detailing loan fund usage, population served, and financial status, and provide aggregate data on aid distribution and maintenance mechanisms to audit all expenditures. I will say for my part, this is about oversight and consistency, but it's also about rapidity and accountability, and we want the data. We want to make sure that we're tracking this. And then there's a second companion piece that was put into this omnibus bill. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council also wishes to allocate $260,000 to support initiatives providing direct relief and resources to residents impacted by the federal government shutdown, which is coming from each member's council grant allocation, which is an incredible opportunity. I will be quiet since I'm rambling now. If anybody has questions about this fund, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you, Councilwoman Green, for making me put that on the record so that people could hear it. And I have no doubt, Ms. Mauricio, that we can have this posted online for the public to review post-haste. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton.
Thank you, Chair. And I would like to recognize Councilman Edmund Ford for the increase that he suggested. And so thank you, especially in these very unprecedented times that we are going through and not sure where we may end up tomorrow. But I just wanted to recognize that and say thank you, and to Councilman Carlisle and everyone for doing this for our citizens here in Memphis, to make sure that we provide that no one goes hungry and all the gaps are closed. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you know, the Community Foundation is where many people give money away. And I don't know if it's a conflict of interest for us using that. If it's not, then we're good.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, may I? Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that Councilman Warren brought that up. And I know what he was asking about, just make sure there's no conflict. But I will say this for my part. One of the other reasons that the Community Foundation, for all those listening and Hardman Trees, if you're out there, this is important. This fund exists. There are funds at the Community Foundation. There is the Memphis Cares Fund. There are COVID emergency funds. If you are a person listening, an organization, I know certain corporations that are headquartered here have already agreed to give to certain of those funds. And my point is that I will be, and if anybody wants it, they can reach out and ask companies to match this fund or donate to this fund or into the Memphis Cares Fund, which is more of a direct grant versus the organization that the mayor set up. So I would just take the opportunity to encourage anybody that if they do want to support financially any of these initiatives in this time, that they can reach out to the Community Foundation and ask about the Memphis Loan Fund or the Memphis Cares Fund. And I think there is even, and I think Marty's going to come up with the Forever Fund, which is a little bit longer. So I'll yield the floor. Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilwoman Cooper Sutton.
Just for the record, because sometimes people don't watch our committees in the morning, that the administration has already donated $500,000 to the United Way, and there is a website set up where different resources are. And so we encourage our citizens and those that know to pass this information along, because of, once again, the word was used earlier, extraordinary but unprecedented times that we don't know from day to day. And United Way is one of our portals that we are using as far as funding and helping and closing those gaps. So just know that the city of Memphis and the administration, that we are working diligently and very hard, making sure that our constituents in the city of Memphis and Shelby County has what we need during these unprecedented times. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Councilman. Vice Chair Swearinger Washington.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to acknowledge that the president and CEO of United Way is here in our audience right now, Dr. Tamika Hart-Wigington, and we're excited about her leadership and assisting in this effort. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Did we vote on that? Okay. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item 39?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 39 is a resolution acknowledging receipt of report on debt obligation regarding the issuance and sale of $235,155,000 electric system revenue bonds, Series 2025, pursuant to the 11th supplemental resolution, the bonds, all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by MLGW, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
39 was moved by Spinoza, seconded by Green. Seeing the members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 45.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 45 is a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Walker. There is a request to add this for same-night minutes.
Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
45 was moved by Carlisle, seconded by Walker. Seeing the members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Colleagues, this brings us to our same night minute items. I believe the Vice Chair has those ready.
Thank you, Chair. Our same night minute items are 7, 18, 30, 34, 35, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 45. And I so move.
Same night minutes were moved by Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Seeing the members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Colleagues, this brings us to our public comment portion of our meeting. Emmeline Rogers is up first. Name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Emmeline Rogers, 670 West Drive, 38112. I would like to thank the council for approving the funds for our library's infrastructure. This is an important step you've taken for Memphis, and on behalf of everyone who comes to our buildings, I'd like to say thank you. The last time I went to the Central Library, they were again down to one working public elevator to get to the upper floors, and with no public stairs between the first and second floors, approving the funding for the escalators is hugely important, along with all the other improvements to our infrastructure. One of the greatest concerns of our union, MPL Workers United, has been the upkeep of our buildings and maintaining safe and enjoyable workplaces for all library workers. This is an amazing first step you are making here today. This past Friday, MPL Workers United delivered our cards to the mayor's office to request a vote for our union. It is our hope that we will have the opportunity to work with both the council and the mayor's office in the years to come to ensure equal access to information and resources that, especially now, are proving to be so vital to our communities. It is our hope that together we can build up our public library system into something not just vital, but also beautiful and positive for our patrons and our workers alike. Thank you for what you have done here today.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Chief Adams, do you have any update on Ben Hook's library?
I believe Director Jameson gave an update earlier today. So the escalators and elevator parts are under fabrication, and he expects those to be completed by March of next year and fully installed by the summer of next year.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Denise Ewell.
Sorry, my name is Denise Ewell. I am at address 2939 Bartlett Crest Drive, apartment number 3, Bartlett, Tennessee 38134. Recently, the administration announced that they are increasing all city employee salaries up to $40,000 a year. We are so grateful for this step in the right direction. But the MIT living wage calculator says that for people living in Memphis, one adult with no children, they ought to be making $44,794 a year. Let me say that again, $44,794, no children. I'm a single mother of one child, and I make a little less than that figure. I pay literally half of my monthly salary to rent payments. I have just enough money left over every month to pay my other bills, and I've had to start using a credit card for some of my other expenses. I need to replace my 15-year-old car with a newer used one, but I simply cannot afford to do that on my current salary. What we truly need is a civil service. What we truly need is civil service and recognition of our union, not a pep rally or a one-time bump in pay. What we need are bargaining rights to guarantee that our pay increases in proportion with inflation each year, not just one time. What we need is civil service protections to guarantee we cannot be taken advantage of or intimidated into staying quiet about the issues we face. We hope we can count on you guys to vote yes on our referendum ordinance. Thank you so much for your time and support.
Thank you, Ms. Ewell. Alexandra Farmer.
Chair, over here. Can I speak before she does?
You may.
Thank you. I just wanted to highlight your statistic there that I thought was really important about the rate of pay. And as we consider in the coming weeks raising the minimum salary here at the city to $40,000, something that I know Councilman Spinoza and I championed during the budget time, and that the administration now says we have the funds for. I think it is incredibly important that we don't have people working for the city that are making poverty wages. And so as that comes forward, I hope that we can gain full support from the council. I also want to say to the library workers, I know that Councilman Smiley noted at the last meeting that he was going to be working on this, and we look forward to supporting his resolution when he brings it forward. I know he had another event tonight, so we had to skip out a little early, but I'm sure he's working on it, and we will be supportive of our unions as we always have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Alexandra Farmer.
Hi, Alexandra Farmer, 1044 Bruce Street, 38104. Good evening, and thank you so much, Councilwoman Green. That's really fantastic to hear. We're so grateful. I'm here today to speak to you all again about the lack of protections and transparency my coworkers and I experience in the library. As has been stated, our reasons for needing civil service are about more than increasing our salaries up to $40,000, even though we are really grateful for that first step in the right direction. So I just kind of wanted to go through some things that people have actually experienced in our libraries. Have you ever been in a position where you couldn't speak up for fear of retribution? Or had a city worker wave their badge at you and said, "It's fine, I work for the city," when you know it's not fine? Have you ever been written up only to never get a copy of that reprimand and never see it leave your boss's desk and have it held over your head so you'll jump through hoops for them? Have you ever asked your boss for a raise only to learn that there's no pathway for non-managerial staff to receive one, no matter how much you've done beyond your job duties, and then heard through the grapevine that instead of seeking a raise, the recommendation that was made to you is you should just get a better job? Have you ever had your professional career yanked out from under you, suddenly reclassified as a paraprofessional without any recourse or say? Or been fired? Or threatened with being fired for reasons no one can show you in writing? Rules never communicated to you, and yet your livelihood and the job that you love is at stake. These are true stories from our libraries and why many from the library don't feel comfortable coming to speak at council meetings. The city might say we rarely unappoint anyone, but the truth is we're not really appointed or unappointed. We're hired and we're fired, or we leave, and many things happen in between. But all of it is outside the bounds of a transparent, equitable, or fair process because it doesn't have to be. As appointed workers, we serve entirely at the whim of any current or future city administration. That is not stability and that is not protection. So we're really grateful for this ordinance that Councilman Smiley has agreed to put forward, and we really hope that we can count on all of your support for it.
Thank you, Ms. Farmer. Jonathan Hill.
Jonathan Hill, 1350 Concourse Avenue, 38104. I've been a library worker for 1 year. 1 year today, actually, is my anniversary date. Today, as a representative of Memphis Public Library Workers United, I'm urging you to do the right thing by library workers. In previous comments, you've heard what it can be like for us. Previous city council meetings, you've heard what it is we do for our communities and for the city. In fact, on November 8th, we're holding a union rally and concert in the Cooper Young community at Java Cabana from 4 to 8 p.m. We'd love to see you all there, everybody. We know you face a lot of issues. A lot of issues are put before you. We understand. But this is one issue that has both majority support of library workers and community-wide support of our city. This is one issue that can be solved. Please vote yes on an ordinance to put a referendum on the 2026 ballot so voters can reclassify library workers to civil service while preserving our benefits and seniority and without forcing us through a rehiring process. This is an achievable change the council can facilitate. We're not asking for anything special, just to be treated like the rest of our peers across most of the city government. There's no valid reason for library workers to be some of the only public servants excluded from civil service. We deserve your respect. We deserve the chance to vote yes in a Democratic Union election so our communities can see us thriving in the city we love and serve. We hope we can count on you to vote yes on our referendum ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Alexis Agnew.
Okay, Alexis Agnew, 4321 Elaine. I appreciate Chair Pinelli. You're always awesome. Again, yes, 100% support the library's right to unionize. I will also be there Saturday. That's going to be a fun event. If nothing else, it's going to be fun. So you should just come. You don't have to like unions. You can just like hanging out with cool people. So, Councilman Smiley is absolutely going to put on to you guys to pass a resolution to put a referendum on the ballot or on your agenda. And Councilwoman Green, yes, love that too. I hope to see everybody support democracy. We do love seeing that. Okay, so that's for the libraries. Second, Ms. Pamela made excellent points. The gentle lady who spoke on on agenda item 35. I want to point out that she is absolutely right. The way that we can have accountability for our, make sure I read on script here because I'm trying to make sure I'm with it. Okay, yes. As she mentioned, one way for the community to get accountability for its elected officials is to elect new officials. With that said, some of us may be challenging some of you very soon. I am with Miss Pam. The unchecked emails and unreturned calls are kind of starting to take a toll with Memphians. Again, Chairman Canale, you're the exception, and a few others. I do have to admit he's great about answering his emails. Politicians are like diapers. They should be changed frequently and for the same reason. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Agnew. Chief Andre Matthews. Name and address, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Greetings, honorable council members, all. I am Chief Andre Matthews of the Family Farmers Cooperative. My family and other family farmers have been growing in the community for over 100 years. I'm trying to keep our few farmers growing. SNAP is on hold right now, and we want to support the food bank, and we want to improve the health of the families. We want to know where are the funds that were supposed to go to address the food desert in 2022. This is 2025. We are your local farmers. This is the 4th time I've been here. We have a state of emergency. Please release the funding so we can help feed North Memphis and all of Memphis. We have 35 farmers on our team. We have the experience, we have veteran farmers. We have organizations like the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, Mississippi Association of Cooperatives. We have farmers in Arkansas that are ready to bring food to Memphis into our store. We were supposed to help build the capacity in 2022 when Congressman Steve Corn first started, to make the plan for us. We plead with all of the members of this council to hear our cry. Help us feed the family. The Promise CDC has failed the community because they're not qualified for the job. Food, distribution, production, all those things, building a store. $3 million was allocated for the North Memphis Food Desert. $3 million is enough to build 2 stores. I would like to make a motion, or someone on this great council, for the release of half the money to the Hyde Park CDC, Oklahoma CDC, to catch up on the plan and conversation that we started over 10 years ago when we raised the food and health alarm. We can make it happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas.
Thank you, Chair. Chief Matthews, thank you for joining us at council, and every time you do so is a pleasure. Chair, I just want to put on record just disputing the false narrative that's been shared by certain folks such as Chief Matthews. That money that was allocated in 2022 was not to farmers in the collective. That was not money from Steve Cohen. That was federal money from the ARPA allocation. That was a part of the $20 million city council ARPA allocation that included city council initiatives, such as one that just had a groundbreaking, such as the Hospitality Hub North. Which is in Uptown on Firestone, which is North Memphis. So I just want to say I thank you for always coming down, but the false narrative that that money was from Cohen, designated to farmers, is untrue. And I just wanted to put that on record again for that sentiment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton.
Thank you, Chair. Chief, I've seen you down here several times. If you can come to the podium, please. Could you come to the podium? Chief. So I wasn't on the council in 2022 doing, I think that's the COVID time, doing the ARPA fund, but you always talk about $3 million. And so you're saying that it was $3 million for the farmers?
$20 million left over, like she said.
Okay.
17 million for housing and homelessness. And then 3 million was supposed to went to the North Memphis food desert that my mother had a conversation. She passed away in 2018. Dr. Marty Daniels with Steve Cohen. And I had a letter that I made some copies of it, to pass out. I did have a 15-page report that I passed out the last time, and I'd be happy to go and get the rest of it. I didn't mean Steve Cohen he just spoke up with the seriousness of the food desert in North Memphis. Over the years, this didn't happen overnight. But right now, we're at a critical stage about SNAP benefits, and then we can use whatever money is left over, since money was transferred to a CDC, from a CDC, I believe, was.
Who did you say? What's the name of the CDC?
Our CDC is the Hyde Park, Okeechobee CDC. Since 1990, we still.
No, but you just said another CDC.
Promise CDC. Miss Esther Thomas is aware of that CDC.
Okay. Well,
she made a recommendation, but
you keep coming and you keep repeating the same thing over about $3 million. And so I was just wondering, because I wasn't here, but I'll do some research and I'll look it up and I'll see.
Thank you so much.
And then we'll find out exactly what's going on.
I have a lot of information to share on that, and would you all please work as speedy as possible, because there is a state of emergency, like I said, and then we want to get our farmers in place, and we have a location, a store. We have a farmer's market.
Okay, so you do have a farmer's market.
Yes, we
you
have
said
a
something
store.
about a store.
Yes, we have a store.
I heard you say
we
something
have
about a
farmer's
store.
market. We have a food network. We have years of experience in this food. We are farmers.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just like to get clarification, especially if I'm not here. And then I'm here now, and you've been here several times. You keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
We're hurting, and I'm
Chief,
my farmers are getting ready to leave town.
We're gonna
Okay,
move
thank you,
on.
Chief.
Thank you. Councilwoman Isha Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, I'd love to talk to you about that. All this is public record, by the way. But before you commented, I literally just said what you were asking for. So I can repeat it to you after council. Okay.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Pamela Moses.
I just want to give a little bit more context to what Chief was saying. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but
Ms. Moses.
I'm sorry.
Name and address, please.
Again? Okay. First, Pamela Moses, 2383 Jackson. Chairman Canali, I don't want me and you to have no misunderstanding, so I apologize if you feel like I was disrespecting you, because that's never my intentions. I always am intentional with what I'm saying, and I'm always speak factually and truthfully about what I'm saying. So I just want you to know that, because we don't want no misunderstanding.
We're all good, Ms. Moses. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I was saying is, like, before you came, Councilman Easter, she served on the same steering committee, or the committee for the Spark Initiative. And there was $3 million, and this is what I'm talking about, that was given to that collaborative to do research for a catalytic moment, like the SNAP shutdown, the government shutdown. And that $3 million disappeared when her boss, or her designee, John Paul Schaefer, left and took a job in Arkansas. That's the $3 million I'm talking about. I think Chief may be talking about something else, but that's what I'm talking about, because those funds were never allocated
Ms.
to what.
Where are you going with this?
I'm on the record and my time is going. I'm trying to clarify what I was saying, because I don't want people to confuse what Pamela Moses is saying with what Chief Andre Matthews is saying. That's all. And then back to the library situation. That escalator has been broken for over a year. It's a travesty for persons with disabilities, and it's a shame that the workers are having to form a union to get people to be accountable. So what I suggest, because I don't really like coming down here, I only come down here if I feel the need, is it's time out for the nepotism, it's time out for the imperialism, and it's time out for y'all mistreating the citizens and the taxpayers and the residents of this city. And regardless if you don't like me or what I have to say, I'm still a taxpayer. I have a right to say what I need to say, and I know you may not want to hear it. I know you may want to go home, so do I. But at the end of the day, if we're gonna make Memphis better, Memphis leaders gonna have to do better.
Okay.
And that includes, and I'm almost through, that includes when someone is speaking to you, you're not looking at your phone, ignoring them. You're not rolling your eyes. It's just called respect. And I don't disrespect anybody in this city that don't need to be respected. I don't disrespect anybody. I'm a respectful person. So y'all have a good evening. Think about what I said. And remember, just like SNAP got cut off, your lights can too.
Thank you, Ms. Moses. Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wasn't going to say anything, but I've got so much has happened. I've got to say this to clean this up for the record. As the budget chairman at the time, here's what happened. The Strickland administration, nope, I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to try and get us out of here real quick, but this has gone so far off the rails, it's unfair to the members that were there, specifically the member that was addressed with the $3 million. So here's what I will speak to. Under the Biden administration, the federal government approved the American Rescue Plan Act, I believe, Funds Act, somewhere in there, known as, colloquially known, sorry librarians, colloquially known as ARPA. The administration brought a package to the Memphis City Council, and I believe the funding was $113 million for CARES, and the ARPA funding was $124 million, somewhere in that wheelhouse. We spent a large majority of the funding on revenue replacement, which was a nice way of saying filling back the coffers for lost revenue, et cetera, et cetera. There were 20, approximately, plus or minus $1 million that were titled council-led initiatives. Of that, $3 million was proposed by the gentle lady from District 7 to go toward what was then titled, as a working title, the North Desert Food Project, or close enough, I think that's right, Dr. Easter Thomas. The money needed a fiscal agent and a development partner. It selected Promise CDC to develop the site at the time, which had not been selected. So it was seed capital. The body voted on it as an entire package of over $120-ish million. And that's what happened. The intent, so to clean it up, the intent and purpose of $3 million was to fund the development of what was considered a grocery store, but it was really more than that, and developments take time. So I'm not sure, and I apologize to anybody out there, even though I'm not sure I'm the person to do it, I'll do it. But anybody that was confused about what that money was to go for, I'm sorry. The money was given directly to the city of Memphis through federal appropriation. We funded that money through public transparent votes, and that's what happened. Full stop. So I'm going to yield the floor on that, but I wanted to clean it up, and I'm happy to get my staff as the budget chairman to reproduce the documents and post them on the website since it's been a few years. And I know that there have been some members that have been wanting to go back and look at some of the funding and some other of the large funding buckets, so we can do that as well. But it's woefully unfair to misclassify the intent of that money, and I was standing in the breach as the budget chairman, and that's not what it was intended for. And if anybody feels like they were waiting on it, I'm sorry. But that was to go to the development and construction of a grocery store and supporting retail center in the North Memphis area. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Carlisle. That brings us to the end of our public comments. So staff and colleagues, I have great respect and appreciation for each of you. Thank you for your time today. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. God bless you.